All right, this is Rick Kelly back. We are going to go ahead and get started now. So thank you to all of those who have joined us today. It's exciting to be speaking to you about user experience and usability testing. Just from the participant list, I see that there's a number of you that I know do usability work, which is awesome. And so very excited to talk through this with you today. This conversation is part of the FCX webinar series that we're running from now kind of through mid-December. So we have recordings already around product development and marketing communications testing using tools and integrations on Fuel Cycle Exchange. And then next week, we're going to take a break for Thanksgiving. As much as we wanted to host it on Thanksgiving, my grandma wouldn't allow me to broadcast from her kitchen. So we're going to have to take a break then and resume toward the end of the month. We'll talk about shopper insights, customer experience, and then brand health. So to set the stage for this, it's just kind of a quick reminder for those of you who are clients old and new. We launched Fuel Cycle Exchange in April of this year, and FCX, as we affectionately call it, is our product partnership program. And really the concept behind it is, we deliver a lot of core functionality on Fuel Cycle around community member management and gamification, rewards, profiling, all those types of things. But we also, wanted to integrate with the, kind of best of breed in the space and provide solutions and, very narrow point solutions with a variety of providers in the space. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to kind of customize your research toolkit. So whether you add VoxPop.me or you add ServiGizmo or you connect with Salesforce, you're kind of able to customize your research community platform for your own needs. And of course, this is an insights marketplace. We've done a lot of due diligence and partnered specifically with companies that we feel like are going to help make our clients successful. And then, of course, it's one of the advantages here is that we have API level integrations with our partners that allow us to kind of unify data and sync profile maps and profiling variables across studies, which I think is really useful. So if you go into your Fuel Cycle community and you look at the Exchange tab on the top, you'll see a bunch of new providers that are coming out all the time. We have a sample of them here, but really a lot of these are kind of centered around different use cases. So whether it's you're working in product development or shopper insights and wanting to do something like with Fuel Cycle geolocation, or you want to use Metaphor insights for some non-conscious measurement and branding stuff. Really, again, there's kind of a different variety of solutions to fit your needs. You can see the updated partner list in the Fuel Cycle Exchange tab inside your research community. So from our friends over at UserZoom, just a quick quote. So for any product or service to succeed, you need to know what your users want as early as possible in your design process. And this is really the value behind user experience research. And I don't want to preach to the converted, but just to share some thoughts with you. I don't know if you're familiar with the stock trading app, Robinhood. But if you aren't, I'll go ahead and tell you about Robinhood real quick. So Robinhood launched a free stock trading app, I think it was about 3 years ago. So that would have been late 2015 or so. And in the past 3 years, so really how Robinhood distinguished themselves, they had free stock trading, but they also took something that was extraordinarily complex and they made it very simple through a beautiful UI and really high usability. If you go to the app stores today and look at Robinhood, you'll see, I think the apps pretty consistently have very high, if not 5-star ratings across both the Android and iOS app stores. And so it's making something really complex really simple. And in the past couple of years, they've actually gained, I think, over 6 million active users and active customers, which is pretty tremendous. Now, contrast that to E-Trade, who traditionally is built on the web, less less mobile centric, at least initially, and launched about 2 decades ago. And E-Trade now, which is probably more of a household name than Robinhood, has a little over 2 million customers. And so what we see today is that consumers, especially a mobile-centric generation, really prioritizes high-quality user experience and wants to, they make selections for banks they choose, for stock trading apps, for insurance providers, based on the quality of the user experience. And really, this is kind of one of the kind of hottest kind of growing categories of research that we see on Fuel Cycle. In fact, 3 years ago, if you asked me how much usability research was done on Fuel Cycle, I would have told you very little. And then about a year and a half, 2 years ago, we started seeing a growing trend in usability research. And today, UX related research accounts for around 10 to 12% typically of all the research that we see happen on Fuel Cycle. So again, this is kind of a growing category here. And so what I'll do today is I'm going to talk about 3 FCX partners in particular, UserZoom, iDecide, and Marvel, to help kind of give you a sense of what's possible on Fuel Cycle and what types of things you can be doing. So we announced our partnership with UserZoom in August of this year. And so UserZoom is an incredibly robust and kind of dedicated usability testing tool, very strong framework for conducting research for digital products through apps, through doing kind of live, like in-app or live moderated sessions with users. And really, whenever you want to start with like an early prototype or a pre-prototype and start sorting concepts and details into different buckets and everything, UserZoom is a great place to start. And so, really what we see here with UserZoom is that it allows you to, prototype, to test, and to get feedback from your consumers at every stage of the process. Second here, I want to talk about a new partnership. Actually, this has just gone out on FCX, I think this week, with a partner called iDecide. And so iDecide does on-device eye tracking to allow you to see where users are going on the screen. And so you know exactly what they're looking at and what types of things that they are attracted to in kind of the first go. I'm just going to kind of quickly play a video here. There's no sound to this, but you can see kind of the visual output behind an iDecide video. I think it's kind of like 3, 5, or 10-second clips. And this is an aggregated response from users, and really allows you to see exactly where they're looking. So, this is especially useful for website redesigns or app redesigns, or when you want to know, if you're trying to draw user attention to one thing or another. iDecide is a great research tool to incorporate into your toolkit. Let's see. So moving on to the next slide here. Again, we have some additional examples of output from iDecide. So anything from like the areas of interest to heat maps to individual user sessions where you can do these user replays. And again, because this is integrated with Fuel Cycle and profile maps, you're able to take the data from your profile maps and kind of drill down on individual users or individual segments. So say you have a segment of users that you're concerned about or are especially high value to your business, you can filter your results by that segment of data or segment of users and drill down on kind of where they're looking on the screen. And just as an aside, outside of usability testing, there's some great use cases for this for kind of static marketing communications tests as well. And then something else that we love to use over here at Fuel Cycle is an application called Marvel app. So if you're familiar with something like Adobe XD, Marvel is pretty similar. So essentially, you're able to kind of build out interactive prototypes and embed them directly in field cycle discussion boards and in live chats and in surveys as well. And so you have these clickable prototypes, and so you can build out screens for a website or for an app prototype and actually see how users navigate through the prototype, and then of course collect their feedback in either a discussion board or a survey based on their interaction with your prototype there as well. And so interestingly with this, so if you have a license to Marvel already, this is actually available for free on FieldCycle. We don't charge anything for this integration, and you're able to kind of get up and running with this in a very, very fast fashion. I'm just going to give you a sense of some of the things that our clients and partners are able to do around usability testing on FieldCycle. We work with a variety of different customers, but this example here comes from a 600-member B2B community in the insurance space. And so actually what this was is this, this partner of ours was doing research among their captive broker audience, so kind of the salespeople for the company, and they were redesigning their resource website. And so they were going completely ground up, overhaul hundreds of pages, lots of information, very, very, very information dense website that was being built. And so they needed to kind of go through a very iterative process to develop this. And so, they did things like running diary studies where they asked community members to share information around like great UX or great websites that they had found out in the open web, and to share those with other community members. And so community members were able to share those types of details with the organization, and they used that as inspiration to start developing their own website. And of course, they were able to use UserZoom to help bucket out different areas of information and to conduct like card sorting exercises. They were able to run heat maps in Survey Gizmo and in UserZoom to get feedback, on the study or on the website as they developed it. And then of course they had a number of different discussion boards where community members talked about the important aspects of user experience to them. And then they also did a number of focus groups in our live chat functionality. And so, really the impact here is that they did, many, many waves behind the study. It was a big, major project with executive level visibility. And over the course of, about 6 months or so, they were able to conduct a wide array of research and to, produce a website that produced a substantive improvement in broker satisfaction, as well as reduce the number of support calls that came into the organization, and thus reduce costs as well. Really, to point out, what's really, I think, neat about this is that this organization was able to do all this different research all from like a single platform, and to iterate with an audience over time, and to develop something that was going to work for their brokers. And it was all available on FieldCycle, and they were able to do it in addition to the other research that they were doing, because it was kind of an all-in-one solution for them. And so with that, I can go ahead and let you know that kind of from now through the end of the year, we're running a series of promotions around our FCX partners. And so there's a number of different promotions and discounts available, especially like in the usability testing space. So I know many of you are in use it or lose it budget situations. And so there's an opportunity to maybe look at a license for something like an iSupply or a UserZoom, and be able to have that in your toolkit going into 2019 to help improve your usability testing outcomes. And so I just invite you to get in touch with your client success manager who can help facilitate those conversations and help you get started on the right foot for 2019. And of course, I'm very interested personally to hear about the usability research that you're doing. And so you should always feel free to drop me a line at rkelly@fuelcycle.com to tell me about your usability needs. If you know a particular tool that you love, I would love to hear about it and see if there's a way for us to partner. And also, if there's any suggestions for how we can, improve our own usability, I would love to, would love to hear it from you. I think. But anyways, thank you very much, and have a great day. Thanks for tuning in.